What is up, guys? Hone here, and today we're doing another book review. In my last book review, I said I was gonna read this, and guess what? I did. I read Arthas, Rise of the Lich King. What? Oh my gosh, again? Seriously? Yeah, I'm gonna do another book review. Shouldn't you be painting this? Yeah, I guess, but I'm doing a book review instead. Get out of here. Ugh, fine. Go on. Nobody gives a about your book reviews. Oh my gosh, anyway, so we're gonna talk about Arthas. Now this was a nostalgia overload for me. I played Warcraft for a really long time. I was around back in the days of the 2-minute mage and PvP, basically where if you devoted enough of your life to Warcraft before PvP gear even existed, if you were in a good guild, one of the top 2 or 3 guilds on your server, and you got the best gear, you would destroy everyone. And I had a core group of friends, so we would all let each other play each other's accounts. So I got to jump into Warsong Gulch sometimes with a warrior that had the best gear, where you could charge a warlock or a mage, hit Mortal Strike, and then with the auto attack, plus sword spec proc, plus the Mortal Strike, you would kill them. Now since those days, I've kind of fallen off playing games super hardcore, and I've kind of become just more interested in the lore behind everything. So I'm kind of what you might call a whore. So I'm always on the lookout for a great read, or going back and just sort of reliving some of those narrative experiences that Warcraft has to offer. Now back when Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne came out, games were not the epic narratives that they are now. The campaign had its moments, but it really almost required something else to really bolster the story. And I think that this novel does exactly that. This is the story of Arthas, a story arc that is probably one of the best, in my opinion, of the entire Warcraft universe. And in this novel, it starts out with Arthas as a child, and leads up to him reigning as the Lich King. Now, when I started reading this, I got to about page 50, and I immediately wanted to play Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. This book immediately ignited in me the desire to go back and play an old game that I'd already loved. And I am extremely glad that I did that, because this book follows the campaign in Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos all the way through the Frozen Throne extremely closely. And the book and the campaign actually converge on page 130. And I'll do a little demonstration real quick to show you what I'm talking about. Arthas realized that if he was going to feel sorry for anyone in this conflict, it was the poor, baffled ogres. Bellowing in pain as fire licked their pudgy, pale forms, and staring in shock at the tiny human female responsible for such astonishing agony. One of them had the sense to run, but the other, seemingly unable to believe it, kept coming. Jaina sent a blast of rumbling orange flame at it again, and it cried out and collapsed, burning to death quickly, the rank scent of charred flesh filling Arthas' nostrils. Jaina watched the second one flee, dusted her hands off, and nodded. She hadn't even broken a sweat.
Gentlemen, meet Miss Jaina Proudmoore.
Now, in my Duratan review, I loved that novel. Mostly because I was really pumped for the movie that's coming out today. Yeah. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen the movie already and what you think. No spoilers, please. But just tell me what you thought. Was it good? Was it bad? But anyway, that novel was also written by Christie Golden. But this novel was written extremely well. The depth that it goes with character development is phenomenal. Now, normally a problem I have with a lot of the Warcraft series books is that they don't get dark at all. They're kind of written for children. It's certainly no Game of Thrones, but it does reach sort of the dark depths, which is very fitting considering we're talking about Arthas. In my opinion, Arthas is probably one of the greatest villains in the Warcraft universe. Now, there are probably more powerful villains, like demons. There are plenty of demons out there, but demons are so one-dimensional. They're just evil to the core. They seek power, and they're just bad guys. Now, unlike the one-dimensional demons, we're talking about a human here from the start. Now, when he was a child, he was a prince, so probably a little bit of a douchebag. But nonetheless, his subjects loved him and he fought alongside them and cared for everyone who his father ruled over. Now to take someone like that, who's generally good, and travel through their fractured life, and to bring them to the point where they are probably the most evil, now that's a real story. And it takes you through a lot of Arthas' introspection and the trials and tribulations that led him there. It's not just a novel to read, but you can turn this into a multimedia entertainment experience. I played through the Reign of Chaos first, kind of back and forth as I read the novel. I played the campaign levels first, read the novel, back and forth, and then when I got to the Frozen Throne, I actually read the book first, and then played through the Frozen Throne campaign back and forth. And I actually enjoyed playing the campaign first, and then reading the novel, because the campaign is kind of the spine. You get a good image of what's going on and the core of the story. And then as I read the novel, Christie brings in sort of the nervous system of the story. All the little details and snide remarks and comments and the feelings behind all the actions that were happening in the campaign. And it's just such a symbiotic relationship this novel has with the campaign. In the novel, she takes little portions that you would play out in the campaign and just kind of glosses over that, which is great because you already knew what was happening. You played it out. You kicked some ass in the campaign. That's what was going on. And then she takes things like the feelings and emotions behind what you were doing in the campaign, as well as sort of boss fights, I guess you could say, like when you fight Uther. In the game, it's kind of hard to portray that in the campaign, especially because it's an old game, but there's a lot of this. This was the epic fight scene between you and Uther, and that is where this book really shines, because she takes those major fight scenes and uses words to create a much more elaborate feeling and something you can imagine is much more epic. So if you're looking for something awesome to do this summer, I would suggest this. If you've already got Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, or Frozen Throne, reinstall those, and then grab this book and do yourself a favor. As always, I'll throw some links down in the description box below. You can get this on Amazon for pretty cheap, it's just a paperback. Until next time, guys, it's not about having fun. It's about a multimedia reading and gaming experience with Arthas, Rise of the Lich King, and Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and the Frozen Throne. If you are a whore yourself, and you've got suggestions for some books that I should read from the Warcraft universe, or really any fantasy novels or non-fiction, I'm also a big fan of anything non-fiction a lot of the times, let me know in the comment section if you've got a great idea for a book that you loved, and I would definitely love to read it.